WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM in New York radio. Joe and Fran, you guys are our heroes. Well, thank you, Joe and Fran, for getting on the radio station. We're going to take a look at that really quick here. And this is a Tuesday edition. FMR Jehovah's Witness couple leave the church. You'll be shunned. Bill Keeler. And this was published last month, January 15th, about a month ago. And Fran and Joe Guerino are making it very clear, despite the fact that the Watchtower claims shunning is no longer a part of the church's punishment and strategy. It is absolutely going on today against members of the church, of the JWs, who decide to walk away. Now, the Guerinos were guests on WIBX Keeler's show on Tuesday, and they were warning people of the dangers to look out for regarding the Jehovah's Witness Church. Joe Guerino said there is a problem of sexual abuse of minors or pedophilia within the church, and he said instead of turning cases into the police, church elders handle the situation on their own and the abusers are allowed to stay in place and ultimately have the opportunity to continue their abuse. The Guerinos have 4 adult children who refuse to speak with them because they left the Jehovah's Witness Church, the Guerinos, so their kids won't talk to them. They're adults now, they're all growing up, they're elders and servants in the organization. So the Guerinos, they make themselves available to help people cope through exiting the church by giving out their personal phone number and streaming a live YouTube program on this topic, live with Joe and Fran. We're going to take a look at this. The Guerinos' latest program to help those looking to leave the church will air on YouTube at 7 p.m. January 15, 2025. And then there's a link to their channel. We'll put all of this in the comments so you guys all have a link. So let's just see what they said on the Keeler show.
Maybe it's a sign. Maybe it was a sign. We'll give you the all-in-one food and fun card. It's a $25 gift card. Good at all the restaurants associated with the Comets. That's really cool. And also, it's a Utica thing, kitchen and bar. Have you been there yet? If not, you should check it.
I have not, but now I will.
You should definitely check it out. It's a $25 gift card. Stand by. I'm going to give you to Megan, and she's going to hook you all up on all of this, okay?
Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Justin. And Megan, he's all yours. He is all yours. Okay, Davey, could you make your way around and just help them with the microphone? Because they're going to have to get really...
Numbers for their
It's like, it just goes on and
please.
on. It's terrible.
We'll answer any of your questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so we're going to lightning round this. I want to let everybody know you guys now have your own YouTube channel, right?
We're on a channel.
You're on a channel. And you would search Joe and Fran.
That's right.
The
channel's
tight on the mic.
The channel is Fixing My Faith.
Fixing My Faith.
My Faith is
you were, and Tim, if you have any questions.
Yes.
Okay.
I can speak? Thank you.
You can speak as well. So I know that the general thought is that the Jehovah's Witness Church is now called Watchtower. Am I correct in saying that? That's explain.
The organization began as Zion's Watchtower. This was in the early part of the century. They changed it to just Watchtower. There's about 12 different corporations that they list themselves under.
And you guys believe, and I've seen many videos and videos that I've gotten from you, that this is a very wealthy organization.
Very wealthy.
Because they own a lot of properties.
And they utilize the members for their work.
And a lot of the members, one thing that's very interesting about the Jehovah's Witness faith is most of the members are not wealthy, but the church is very, very wealthy.
The church is very wealthy.
So, okay, you guys were in the church. When did you join? When did you become Jehovah's Witness?
Okay, 1985.
All right.
We started studying. We had 4 small children.
And what led you to that? And by the way, we could be in a lot of trouble for going in this way with a religion. It's usually not something that's done. going after a religion, but you feel that people should be very nervous because people are being hurt.
Our concern is for the people.
Okay. Why did you become a Jehovah's Witness? Was there something in your life that drove you to the church?
We were born and raised Catholic. We had 4 children. We were interested in the family all together, learning about the Bible, and that wasn't happening at the time in the Catholic faith.
In the Catholic Church.
So we were looking, we're searching, and one day witnesses came to our door and offered a book, and then eventually offered a study, which we were interested in for the family. So that's great. That's what we're interested in, Bible study for the family.
And you went?
And that's what they did. It was a home study. And then we started attending the meetings.
How many children did you?
We have
4 children. And Fran, you went to the church.
Yes, we did. Yes.
And your family, your kids grew up in the church.
Yes.
Talk about that just a little bit.
They're called born in.
Born in.
See, we were not born into that. They were born into it.
Your kids were, because you became.
That's
Fran,
right.
grab the mic from him if you
Okay.
have to.
The people are very nice, and that's what attracted us to the organization.
Okay.
The people are very, very nice, loving.
All right. Now, what made you want to leave the church?
We were watching the organization systematically become more corporate.
Okay.
Not like a religion, but like a corporation. I went to school for business. I got a business background. And I said, this is more like a business. And they are absolutely a corporate business. They were becoming more and more corporate, more authoritative, less churchy, if you know what I mean.
So you decided, now how old when you decide to leave the church, how old are your kids?
Okay, so our children were in their early 40s, late 30s.
Oh, okay, so
And
they're now
we-
adults
Yeah,
with their own children.
no children.
No children.
No children. But we were 70, so we were old to leave.
And how many years ago was this?
3 years ago.
Okay, so this is very new. So you decide to leave the church, and now this means you have lost your family.
What happens, again, the reason we left is when we found out that Australia, through the Australian Royal Commission, it was a government investigation on pedophilia. There were, at the time,
They found that there were 1,800 victims with 1,000 abusers over the course of maybe 20 years. I'm not
In
sure.
Australia?
That was
In
just Australia.
Yeah.
Australia.
That was
You believe
just
this is
Australia.
covered up, very much like what
Absolutely.
happened in the Catholic Church, but it's been exposed.
Absolutely.
You feel it's going on in
See,
this church.
Most people don't know much about Jehovah's Witnesses
Right.
because they were very secret.
Very quiet.
Very secret. But
Yeah.
now with the internet, they're not so secret anymore.
Go ahead, Fran.
Oh, I was just looking on we have followers that are following us right now. We told them that we were going to be on the
Okay,
program.
all right.
But they said get closer to the mic.
Get closer to the mic.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you thank them for me? All right. Okay.
you.
All right. I have 8 minutes, so let's move. Davey, I want to go right to the top. Do whatever you have to do. Okay. So you try to leave the church. You've now lost your family. I think this is very important. You're in your 70s. You now do not have contact with your children?
Their policy is for anyone who leaves, or either purposely leaves, or if they're what's called disfellowshipped, they basically coerce the members to shun that person.
All right.
That means they're as good as dead.
So you do not have
None.
contact?
Zero. For
Do
3
your
years.
kids now have kids, or they don't have
No,
kids?
no
All right.
children.
Fran, have the two of you or your husband, ever witnessed? Because one of the things you told me is you feel there's pedophilia in the church, and it's being covered up.
Yes.
Have you ever witnessed something like this, or you just believe it is happening?
Okay, personally, no, we did not. We asked our children, they said no, but there's something called repressed memory that if it happens to a child, they can just block it out. But
right.
we have talked to many people that have been sexually abused.
And there's a
They
case,
say themselves that
Yes.
they have
and
been.
Yes.
there was a
Yes.
case right in Rome
Yes.
that is documented.
But what happens to that case? Does it go to the authorities?
No, it does not. In the case in Rome, it did, only because the daughter-in-law reported it.
Okay.
Most cases not.
Otherwise, their corporate policy is to go to their lawyers first and then take care of it in-house.
Okay.
Because they're protecting a corporation.
Have you tried to reach out to your kids to...
Oh, absolutely.
You have. And tell us about that.
No contact. Absolutely none. No response.
In the beginning, they were warned by someone that your parents are into something very dangerous. So right away, the shunning, they call it shunning, starts where, no contact. No
You feel you were
messages.
into something dangerous within the church.
Oh, it's-
Leaving the church, you felt that you were escaping.
We had so much evidence, and if you go on YouTube and just look up XJW, you'll see thousands of accounts.
X, which is EX.
EXJW.
JW. Do you have any
EXJ.
questions, Tim?
Yeah, so, I guess I am surprised in regards to if this pedophilia is going on, that at some point in time, the lawyers are going to get involved.
they have been. They have
I don't
been.
care how long it's going to be, but if there's money to be made in regards to it, they're going to jump into this thing.
Okay, in the case of Pennsylvania, the Attorney General Michelle Henry, right now they have 14 they were Jehovah's Witness men that were convicted of pedophilia,
It's ongoing.
and they're in the courts. So that's just one example.
Well, I think I'm not sure that the churches, they go after people who are pedophiles. What happens is if the church becomes a safe place for the pedophile to
And just
go.
move them around.
There's a terrible connotation that has that it's a pedo paradise because they know that they'll be protected.
I always wondered as a kid, we had Jehovah's Witness kids in our no birthday, Halloween, they had to leave, none of those celebrations. That is the way of the church, right?
Yes, it is. It is.
And they're trying to go through a change now because they're being heavily scrutinized by different states, countries.
Not to cut you off, I also read that there was, in the last year or two, there was a statement made by the church that they would no longer practice shunning.
That's not true.
Okay, talk about that.
Their policy.
Tight on the mic.
Their policy may be to not shun, but everything that happens in the congregation is each member knows that if they maintain contact with the person who's separated, they will get shunned.
Okay.
Because they're afraid that they'll get shunned if they don't shun.
Or at the very least, they'd be out of favor.
They get shunned.
They get shunned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so just recently, because of the country of Norway stopped giving funding to Jehovah's Witnesses because of the shunning, so they changed their policy just a little bit.
Okay.
So if someone goes into the Kingdom Hall, they can say a greeting. They can say, hello, glad to see you here. But that's it.
All right.
They lose millions of dollars because they're being rejected basically by the country.
I want to ask you, as I'm running up against the clock, 2 minutes. And then I want to direct people to your YouTube and give them your web address. When you've come out publicly in the last 3 years, you guys have been very public.
Purposely.
Have you had any repercussions because of that, other than your children?
Well, immediately the repercussion was that the same elder that basically sweet-talked us into the congregation is the one that went behind our backs and immediately told our children, that we were dangerous.
You were bad because you were leaving the church.
It started immediately.
Have there been any threats?
No threats.
All right. And but they basically are saying you guys are a couple of kooks.
They call us apostates because we actually spoke out against the earth. It's
Okay.
not like we just did something and left.
Yeah.
An apostate is like someone that should be stoned.
Yeah. Like a Judas.
That's
to a certain extent.
basically.
Yeah. The church believes in heaven and hell, the same type of... Not really. Different.
No, that's different.
Okay.
You can go on their website and learn all about them. It's jw.org, and they promote it heavily.
All right. And your website is xexjwfriends.com.
Yes, that's one of the websites. Yes, you
Go
can
ahead.
go on there.
Joe?
Go ahead.
But the one where we have our program every Wednesday at 7 is on fixing my faith.
Fixing My Faith, and that is on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Fixing My Faith.
Fixing My Faith. Yeah. You can find that at there by searching also at Joe A-N-D Fran, at Joe and Fran. Anything else? Joe and Fran, you want to give out your phone number? I'll let you do that.
Because we have a local meetup as well as we do meetups all around the country. Our phone number is 315-221-0130.
In case someone needs help.
Yes.
And you believe there are those out there that do.
Absolutely.
Joe, you guys I do believe you're very brave, and I appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
Our concern is for the people.
Thank you.
All right. We have news coming up.
Great job, Joe and Fran, on doing the radio station with WIBX. So that's something that all of us can do. We can go down to the local radio station. They have a lot of news and talk shows. So Joe and Fran did this in New York with WIBX. They get they have a big audience. And we can do it in our own state, in our own country, in our own province, in our own locality. All we have to do is go down to the radio station, start making some friends, talk about them. These guys are interested in news, so this is a way that we can certainly get the news out. Now, I wanted to show Joe and Fran's site. They do every Wednesday night. We broadcast on our channel, Fixing My Faith, as well as Joe and Fran. They broadcast on their channel, Joe and Fran Guerino. And this is also broadcasted Wednesday night across Twitter, a couple of Twitter accounts. So it's getting out there. This show is getting out there. There's a lot of new people coming in on the show. And also we have a Discord community. In the descriptions below, there's a link in the Discord community. It's growing. There's a lot of help in that community. There's a therapy class every Sunday morning. There's political talks. There's religious talks. There's talks about all kinds of things. And there's games and movie nights. So every Wednesday night after Joe and Fran's show, you might know Ruby Quinn. She hosts movies, and she's doing movie night. And it's a way of getting to know the XJW community. So thanks again, and thanks a lot to my good wife. She's the one that sets all this stuff up. She set all the Discord up, and she takes care of all the background, all the studio productions of Joe and Fran's show every Wednesday night. So we give her a big thanks. So thanks again to you guys as the audience for showing up, subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, now's a good time to smash that subscribe button, because that's how we get these videos out, and that's how we're going to reach our goal of hitting 100,000 subscribers. You know, there's 100,000 people watching our videos, but there's only 8,000 of you that have subscribed. So we hope that a few more of you are going to subscribe. Please do if you can. Don't worry about people seeing it on your phone. It doesn't matter. Everyone is looking at the news. Everyone is looking at XJW News. So thanks again, and we'll see you on your next video. Keep living your day with love. Bye for now.